All right, so we're going to take a few seconds and I'm actually going to see on Facebook where we've landed. All right, looks good. We are actually live on Facebook on Caribbean Diaspora Vibes, and now I'm going to share it to Donna Morton Morgan, and we're going to share it to Caribbean American Diaspora and Caribbean Rhythms Radio Network. So we are going to be on several different pages at the same time, and a few groups, even women of culture. All right, wonderful, wonderful. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Thank you for that. Thank you. My name is Donna Morton Morgan, and I'm the president of Caribbean American Diaspora Alliance. And I'm also the president of Women of Culture Incorporated, where we support women, children, and families affected by incarceration, homelessness, and trauma. And I'm a mindset coach, real estate broker, and life insurance broker in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas. I am Black Excellence. And
Yes.
tonight we are celebrating Black Excellence for Black History Month. But we celebrate 365. Just want to put that out there, but we are celebrating that tonight. We were waiting for our radio host, Mr. Lewis Witter with Caribbean Rhythms Radio Network, but I think he's tied up. So we want to say hello to Dr. Arlene Adams. How are
Good
you?
evening. I am just fabulous and so happy to be here.
And we're all staying warm.
Yeah.
This unexpected cold front that came our way, but we can't even complain with what we see going on up north. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Freezing.
So tonight we have an amazing, amazing guest for you, Honorable Mikaela Nix. And I consider her Black excellence. We get to hear her story, her journey tonight of where she's coming from and where she is and where she's going, because it's all about the going. And we are just blessed to have her because her schedule is literally crazy. So we are thankful and grateful and honored to have her tonight with us. So Honorable Mikaela Nix, actually Walker.
Yes.
Have to add that on there. Thank you for joining us and in celebrating Black excellence. We just want to hear your story, your journey, and to just highlight you and give you your props.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, it is so good to be back here. It always feels like home. And so I am so honored and humbled to be back and speaking with you guys again during one of my favorite times, Black History
Mhm.
Month. As already described by Mrs. Morgan, we celebrate Black History Month 365 days a year. However, in the month of February, we are especially honored to give homage and honor to the to people here, there, past and future. I always say that Black excellence looks like any regular person that you may see on an average. They don't have to have a title or a special
Right.
slogan in regards to them. Just being able to say some of the struggles and accomplishments that we've had so many and so many different mediums is always a Black excellence. So I'm always glad to be here. It's been about a year or so since I've sat in this seat and been on the bench now for about 5 years. And so I have seen quite a bit in Orange and Osceola County as I am a circuit judge in that particular arena, which represents Orange, Orlando, and the Kissimmee area, and specifically Orange and Osceola County. So when I started back, I was in the criminal bench in
Mhm.
Osceola County, and since then, in about 2.5 and 3 years, you rotate, and now I'm in the domestic bench right here in Orange County. And I can tell you a couple of things that over the years that I've just seen growing. I've seen more and more African Americans and people of color getting into the jury. And remember,
Right.
that's my jam, right, guys? Civic duty in you, right? Getting back and making sure that you are accepting jury duty and taking it seriously. And so I can't leave or begin without starting with that, you guys. Please don't ditch jury duty. I believe personally it is one of the most intimate and forthgoing things that you can do. So you can go march on protests, we can do all these organizations, they're all important. However, when you get that slip to say that you are going to jury duty, that is affecting someone's life right then,
Right.
right now, and you can make a huge difference. And I've seen over the years us getting better with jury duty. And so what I would like to say is sometimes when I go to jury duty, and I mean, pardon me, when I go to jury selection and I look around, there's not that many people of color sitting there. And we may have a higher rate of incarceration of people with color, but then sometimes you don't have people of color sitting on the jury. And it's very important to have a diverse jury. It's very important to have women. It's very important to have a plethora of different races and understandings and backgrounds, because those are the people that are going to be talking about whether or not this person is guilty or not guilty. Remember, the jury decides if you're guilty or not guilty, and you don't have
Right.
to worry about it. That's it. That's where you stop. I know I talk to a lot of people, Miss Morgan, and they say, "Well, Judge Nix, that's just not my cup of tea. I don't really feel comfortable. I that's not something I would want to decide for religious purposes." And there's a plethora of ways that you are not necessarily going to be the best candidate for that case for jury duty. I'm talking about showing up. Let me make sure I say that. You can determine what you can handle when you get there.
Right.
But first, let's get there. Let's get there and decide whether or not we're going to be that best fit for that particular case. And then I always tell people you don't have to worry about the punishment. That's why I put on the black robe. That's why I take and absorb all of those things. You leave, and that's you've done your civic duty, and then you're on about your way. The judge, that's the person that deals with the punishment. That's the person that deals with the sentencing, not the jury. And so it's very important to understand that, so that sometimes people think that they are going to be the person that's putting someone to jail. That's not accurate information at all. A judge afterwards could decide a plethora of alternative punishments, and so that portion should not necessarily concern the person as much. So I'm back to jury duty, civic duty, and you guys make sure that we are not taking that jury duty paper and immediately say, "Well, I have to work. I have this. I have that." We
Right.
really, really need you. We really do.
We remember you pushing that. We still remember
Yes,
because we
that's
were
what we do.
not really taking it serious. And then you're like, so
We have to. We
yes.
have to take it more seriously, because you'll find a lot of people look like you that are
Mhm.
sitting, be determining what is going to happen to them and their livelihoods. And so it's super important. As I can say, you are making instantaneous decisions, instantaneous change, and we need that.
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. So tell us about yourself and your journey, how what even led you on this path?
So I was originally a lawyer. As to be a judge, you have to at least be a lawyer for 5 years. And so I was in the arena of domestic. So I used to help to families who are in turmoil, whether that's through dissolution of marriages, whether that's trying to get access to time sharing with children. Unfortunately, domestic violence that sometimes occurs, and I was using those type of platforms as far as my legal career. I did some criminal as well, mediation, and so I was just really in all the facets of the law. I pretty much touched every type of law when you're dealing with family, from probate, understanding your property, to wills. And so I decided after a long thought and looking on the bench at that particular time in 2020, and I said, man, I don't really see a lot of people that look like me. And I said, I want to kind of change that. And so I was going on this path like, we need more, we need more. And then God said, you can't continuously ask to be the change agent. I'm giving that to you. And so I would try to pass the buck. Like, guys, don't you think we should get some more judges? And then I wouldn't hear anything, and then a year would go by, and I would finally, I said, you know what? If no one else, it's me.
Yeah.
I am fully duly qualified. I'm highly educated. I am a people's person, being on a plethora of different organizations throughout my career and throughout my life, even as a young woman, and then successfully ran and became the first African American woman with Christy Collins to win a contested race. And so it was very, very exciting. And I was
Mhm.
super happy. And I was so thankful to the residents of Orange and Osceola County. But when I got on the bench, Miss Morgan, that's when the work really began. I can honestly say, being able to have touched thousands in my last 5 years of cases that I have open, being death penalty certified in criminal, and hearing lots of different stories, listening to victims, listening to their advocates, looking at families in a different light. I try to tell people that as a circuit court judge, you have to have tools in your toolbox that help the community. And so I have done over the last 5 years going and introducing myself to the community in regards to tools such as Next Step Orlando, which is a place that helps quadriplegics. You never realize how much that your life can change in one car accident. One of the stories was an 18-year-old girl coming back from her high school graduation, got in a car accident, and for the rest of her life, she can only move her top half, and she is a quadriplegic. But that didn't stop her at all. Now she's had a child, and I will be speaking at the Next Step Orlando event. Just small things like that, going to New Images, which is a facility for grieving families, and it's only for children. And at this facility, you're able to express yourself through games, through art, and going on the bench and the domestic. Many times you have children who have lost their parents or their grandparents or someone very close to them. Having tools in your toolbox that will help. Different parenting coordinators, guardian ad litems. These are people who have become close to me as far as looking at what they can provide, and very different nonprofit organizations, as we've mentioned some of your own, that mentor and empower. Circuit judges have to have tools in their toolbox to help the community so that you can understand everyone's life. Everyone's life is different, whether you're in criminal or civil or domestic. It's a path, it's a life. And having these tools in my toolbox over the last 5 years have really helped me on the bench, not only making decisions, because now I can see in a different light a family who is going through, a person who has transitioned from a vibrant young lady to now not being able to walk or move and having multiple surgeries, and now their family has health insurance issues and things of that nature. And sometimes that leads to dissolution of marriage or divorce. Sometimes that leads to emotional turmoil. And so just having these tools in your toolbox over the last 5 years, sitting on the Central Florida Boy Scouts board, being a part of Tiger Bay, I have armed myself with armor that is going to aid me when I'm sitting in that courtroom making these what I call big boy
Right.
decisions.
Yeah, I've definitely seen you with organization after organization, event after event. I'm like, where did she have the time after, But it gives you, it expands you so you can see and you can connect with, people from different culture and background and all of that. So, and then your family, you've got,
Yes.
oh my gosh, family's growing. And,
It is growing. I had a baby on the bench, and that was very, very exciting for me. I have a little girl, so I have a boy and a girl now. My family definitely grew on the bench, and so that was an exciting time in my life as well. And also as a woman, being able to balance so many different things. I think we do that just so well, and being able to balance your work and your life, taking care of your home as a wife as well. It's a big balance, and I think that I again tools in my toolbox to help. I think I have started something with flamenco dancing about a year ago to
Mhm.
give something for me. I told my husband I need something for me, so I started dancing and just doing small little. I always tell women you got to have one thing. Doesn't
Right.
have to be a big thing, but you have to have one thing. And especially new moms and especially new wives coming out of their own and making their own. And so I started doing flamenco, and I love it.
Nice. So where do you see yourself, the
Next.
future self?
Oh my. So it has been 6 years now. So I will be up for election soon, I'm sure, the cycle goes every six
Mhm.
years. And I like what I do. And so I am very happy on the circuit bench. I think it was the perfect opportunity, as we described before. There's a county level, a circuit level, an appellate level, and the Supreme Court. I do believe right now the circuit level is where I would like to be, as I like to be in the mix. I like to make the decisions. I like to be in the trials. I like to be in the courtroom. It's very important to me to see people on a day-to-day basis, and more importantly, for people to see me on a
Right.
day-to-day basis. And so I hope and continue to be reelected if I so have to go through that journey, and um, continuing on multiple paths. I do think that I would probably like to go to criminal again. I
Mhm.
did like criminal quite a bit. That was one of my favorites. And so, as I told you guys, we rotate. And so, when my child is a little bit older, I would definitely like to see the criminal bench again.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's always a little interesting. I was a criminal paralegal for a couple years. It's a little bit more action in the
Yes, it is. It's very there's some, but to be honest, Miss Morgan, domestic family is
well, yeah.
it is action. It is emotional. Criminals, I tell people that you're going to see the criminal at their best, right? They're going to be at their best. They're not really too much. It's always, yes, Judge
Mhm.
Nix-Walker. How are you, Judge Nix-Walker? And family. Oh
Family
man,
is
you're talking about people's children. You're talking about
yes.
divorce and high emotions. It is drama. That is the drama. The domestic is the
Yes,
drama.
I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah, it's definitely drama. Um, wow. So we definitely appreciate you. Dr. Arlene, do you have any questions?
I'm just so happy to see
Oh, Dr.
um, that Michaela Nix. And I just want to let you know the first time it was three judges that came on,
Hmm.
and I never cease to pray for you and the other judges. You're on the list. We meet in the mornings at 6, and I remember you, and I stand on your platform about make sure you go and represent. After
Right.
you spoke that day, I took that on personal,
Yes.
personal. And all the foolishness that I hear sometimes, I'm like, no, 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 no. Let me tell you. So you have gave me that passion to encourage our people that yes, we
That's
have a large amount of incarceration. We must go and represent. I just want to salute you. Seeing, I hear that power, spiritedness,
mhm.
passion in your voice, and I appreciate what you do. All these organizations that you go to meet people, they need to see you to
Mhm.
see us,
Yes.
the representation. So
Yes.
I am so hats off to you. I
Yes.
salute you
Oh,
and
wow.
thank you for what you do and on the bench and still that energy and passion to go higher. So may God bless you with what you do. And I will always remember you. Of course, you have a part of my namesake. I'm Walker Adams. So I'm getting some of your fire.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I do remember when we had our last discussions. I've been through, that's why I said I miss you guys. I know
Mhm.
this discussion is about me per se, but I do remember talking about leadership and Black excellence and thriving and the ways that we can, when we have a lot of, everyone has a lot. We all have a lot, ways that we can make sure that we tell ourselves a good job. Remember the stickers, the post-it notes on top of your walls, and making sure you're
Right.
saying positive things about yourself. And not only that, making sure you're taking those and accomplishing the task. And when you do, you remove that sticky note and then you praise yourself and then you put it away. Don't forget those small little things, especially women. We man, we are thebomb.com and we hold so many hats. But with holding so many hats, that also means wearing so many hats, that also means we wear a lot of emotional baggage and we take other people's and we put it on top of ourselves. And sometimes you got to armor yourselves with some spirituality. Sometimes you have to honor
Yeah.
yourself with small things like I did this one thing today instead of, oh my God, I had so many things to do, I accomplished
Right.
nothing. And
Right.
that is the mindset that we have to stop. That is the
Mhm.
mindset that men don't have that. Let me just let you know. Men don't have that. They do one little thing and man, I did a great job
Right.
for me. We're going golfing, right? Meaning that they
Right.
are able to take some time for themselves and they're able to praise themselves. And they're able
Mhm.
to do that also with their group. As women, we also need to praise each other. That's why I always start off with how did you do? What are you doing? What's the one thing that you've accomplished today, whether big or small?
Right.
Because that is some of the things that I believe that men have that push them to the top.
Yes. Instead, we beat ourselves up. We didn't get this done. We didn't get that done.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we're wearing five hats,
Yeah.
seven
Yes.
hats sometimes.
7 minutes. Yeah.
And so we definitely need to make sure that we are giving ourselves some accolades, giving ourselves some space, even if it's
Mhm.
30 minutes to yourself. Give yourself that time. I remember speaking to a gentleman and he said that he would sit outside his car 30 minutes before going inside. And I said, wow, you must be lucky. I don't have 30 minutes to sit down inside. I have the baby here. I got to make sure
Mhm.
dinner's here. I got to do, but when I thought about it, it was ingenuine. You need, whether it's sitting in your car, whether it's going to flamenco on a Thursday, whether it's whatever you're doing, you
Right.
need to make sure. And it can't be for the group. Well, I'm the president of this, I do
Right.
that. That is not what I'm talking about when I say for yourself. Those are things that we need you for. Those are your God given gifts, those are your talents. That is not me time. I'm going to say that again for somebody.
Mhm.
I am not talking about being the president of an organization, being a part of an organization, going on out and volunteering. Those are things that we need as community members. Those are things that you need in your spirituality, things that you're accomplishing, accolades that you like, things that you have put together, trailblazing activities, but
Right.
that is not time for you. And
Right.
I want to make sure that when I say time for you, that is something non related to the activities that you are already a part of, non related to the business that's aspiring. So when I say the activities, I don't necessarily mean go on Facebook and then put together a portfolio for your business. That's not you time. You time is quiet
Sure.
time for you to reflect with
Yes.
yourselves, your family, friends. Any that's the you time. It doesn't have to be anywhere, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a part of anything. It's just time,
Yeah.
time for God, time for
Yeah.
fasting, time to
Mm.
reading your Bible, but time. And you have to be able to carve that out because if you don't carve out time for you, you're not going to be able to pour into
Right.
anybody else.
Yeah.
So just making sure that when I say you time, I want to be very clear to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we always encourage
Yeah.
you can get that time in even 20 minutes before everybody else wakes up. Because once everybody's up and the day gets started, that is it. And then you're
That's it.
exhausted. Carve
Yep.
out 15, 20 minutes while it's silent and you have your me time, your spiritual time, your giving thanks, your forgiveness time, all of, I teach all that too. It's really important for yourself and allow God to lead your day and
Yep.
just yeah, be
And I like to
fabulous.
talk to people like Miss Morgan because Miss Morgan's going to talk to other folks. I like to talk to presidents of organizations, other judges, people in high ranking positions, because we sometimes say things, but we don't do it ourselves. And
Right.
so I'm here to remind that you also, when you're giving that information, you need to make sure that we're taking that information in as well. Presidents of high organizations like Dr. Walker just prayed for me, or Walker Adams, pardon me, just prayed for me.
Mhm.
And I need that. I need that because sometimes as a leader, sometimes as a trailblazer, I forget about me. I
Right.
forget that if you don't pour into yourself, you don't have any. And so, for those leaders out there, those presidents of organizations, those trailblazers, those folks that are starting things that we don't even know that's going to be existing, I'm talking to you today. Make sure
Mhm.
that you are taking time, making sure you're practicing what you're preaching to others who love you and need you and inspired by you.
Yes.
I thank you
Yes.
so much for just reinforcing that. I have this, it's a male doctor, a very dear friend of mine, and we talk every day. He has a long ride to go to work, so we'll talk. I pray with him, pray for him, and then he would say, "Okay, tell me what is one thing you're going to do for yourself every day?" And so I have to get before we engage, I have to say the real positive, and he knows when I'm fooling around, talking foolishness. But now, so I went to a training recently about journey to wholeness, and I recognized that my boundaries were so off. And so now it has brought me back to the core, and I'm learning, and it is so wonderful to take good care of myself. So it's a journey. So the little pieces, and just like what you were saying today, it's not that I don't know it, but people were just all over me, and I thought that I was doing good. No, I wasn't. I was being abused, and I allowed it. Now Arlene has boundaries. So
Yes.
when said, I have to say no to some things, no, no, take care of me. I'm
Yes.
worth it.
You're
I'm,
worth. I was gonna say that you're worth
I'm
it.
worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it. My
Oh my
little
gosh.
2-year-old said to his her dad, Daddy, you're worthy.
Yes.
You're worthy. You're
Oh,
worthy. You're worthy. Yes, we are. Thank
from the
you, Daddy. That was
mouth of
beautiful.
babes. Thank you,
Definitely.
thank you, thank you again for visiting with us and sharing your story. You continue to glow with God's grace all over you, and I
Thank
know
you so
that you
much.
you are being a light to
Yes.
others out there, and we appreciate that. We do salute you. We love you. We pray for you. We bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so good to see you with the beautiful energy that you women give. I just want to say thank you very much. And to everyone out there, thank you for listening to my story. This is a great organization. Thank you for having us here during Black History Month, which is 365 days of a year.
Yes. And we'll be connecting off air. We'll talk some more
Yes.
about reentry or just
Yes.
even women struggling just out, but maybe just, struggling to adapt into society or just, from homelessness or from domestic violence, whatever it is. So we'll get together and talk more
We
about
will.
that. All right. Enjoy your family. God bless you.
God
Until
bless
next
you.
time.
Yes.
Until next time, guys, God bless you.
God bless
Yes.
you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Night. Thanks. Mm.